Okay, quiet. Quiet, I'm starting. Shh. Welcome to the International Space Station. We already did, excuse me, we already did a voice check with Houston, so we're on our own here. I have someone on the back side of the camera there that you can't see running the computer and that will ask me the questions, and I'm just gonna sit here and spin my mic, and I hope everything works, because you know we are orbiting at 10 times the speed of a bullet up in space. Let's see here. Does anybody have any questions? That's what this is, a Q&A. I'm commander of Expedition 61 up on our orbiting laboratory in the blackness of darkness. Okay, let's see here. Is there any questions yet? I'm looking here at my assistant. He doesn't seem to have any questions yet. Let's see. I was doing some experiments earlier, actually just a few minutes ago, while orbiting in space. Critical science for you people down there on the Earth. Let's see here. Hopefully somebody shared this on Twitter or something. Let's see here. We're having a couple technical difficulties. If you apparently we've lost our internet signal, and we must be over the ocean, and yeah. So, an interesting story. We had a small leak in this module, actually, the module I'm in right now. See that ESA sign behind me? That's taped on the wall because there's a giant hole behind that from a meteorite. It came flying through, went right through the other side of the ISS. We taped it up good though. For sure we taped it up good. Let's see here. I got a question here from someone. Mr. Astronaut, is the water you swim in filtered? Of course. It has to be clean, otherwise... you mean like at my swimming pool at home? Yeah, I don't remember. I haven't been there for 560 days. Longest duration stay in space of anyone so far. Actually, yeah. Good, close enough. How often does SpaceX who is this? Who's asking this question? It's Jeffrey Rudd asks the question. How often does SpaceX deliver the hairspray? Well, you'd have to ask the women astronauts, because I'm bald. I don't need hairspray. They like to use hairspray up here because the hair gets messy if they don't. Let's see here. Oh, you can just send your questions to #AskNASA, and or you can put them in the chat, whatever works best. We've got another question here. It's concerning the breach we had in the hull that I was just telling you about, that's behind that ESA sign behind me. You know what's strange? Let's see here. I sure hope you guys can hear me and everything, because my assistant here is telling me that he's having trouble with the feed and he doesn't know if it's started yet. So I want to make sure if you guys can hear me, maybe put it in the chat just so I know, or so he knows. Okay, let's see here. SpaceX Dragon comes up here and delivers all the supplies we need to keep the ISS up in the air, and it gives us the power to do what we're doing up here. I'm hearing something behind me, or in front of me. Give me a moment here. I gotta look over here. Oh, I'm hearing something. I think we need another piece of tape or putty. Anybody got some putty? So there's a hole behind you, camera guy. I can see the vacuums leaking in. Next question. Enough with these leaks. Mr. Astronaut, do you use JB Weld to plug holes, or is gum sufficient? Oh, well, if you know anything about science, you will know that JB Weld is much stronger than anything we would need for a vacuum. I mean, vacuums are weak, and they really don't... I mean, I could probably go out of the space station right now for a few minutes and be fine. Or maybe I'd die, I don't know. We've never tried. Because this... Oh, yeah, we've never tried. Someone asked, "Hey, Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand?" It's actually a microphone, and watch me flip it. Oh, yeah. You like that? That was a cool trick, huh? I'll do it again. Here. Whew. Yeah. Okay. What proof... Oh, my neck's getting sore. Because all this... Not gravity. If you know what I mean. What proof you have you're on the ISS? Can you do a flip? I just told you my neck is sore. I can't right now. I'll tell you what. Next interview or next Q&A, I'll do 2. How's that? Or else maybe I'll have someone else doing. You know, there's a possibility that I could maybe flip something around in the air. Like, I got this little toy. Oh, look at that. See, I'll just let that flip there for you for a while. I hope that works for you, sir. Hope that answers your question. Let's see here. Any other questions? Oh, okay, so I was gonna tell you guys, we've got, how much longer we've got? We've got 10 more minutes till we run out of air, and we'll have to patch those holes again. Let's see here. Mr. Astronaut, do you think you were brainwashed, or are you just part of the cabal? It's actually a form of brainwash. Because I actually believe I'm up here. I think I do. Pretty sure I do. Lots of people. Oh, okay. He's giving me a list of names of people that are in the chat. Jeffrey Rudd is in there. Roderick, good to see you. The Johnsburg, good to see you. John C. Oddity, good to see you. Not Sir Marlin, not Sarah Marlin, if that's right. I went to school in America, so let's see. Roderick, yeah. Oh, my neck is sore. Oh, look at this. We've got Flat Earth Autopilot. Good thing that they left the chat open. Them flat earthers taking over our live streams all the time. Like, pointing out every single little thing that doesn't look real. I don't know why. It's like they're obsessed with something. They don't like to be lied to or something. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Coffee House. Good to see you. Jerry, Steven, good to see you. Thanks for coming into the Q&A. Billy Sunday. Wow. Let's see here. This question is a good one. Why are you the only white straight man there at the moment? Well, I'm actually with a crew of 6 or some 5, and we've been up here. We switch. We take a jet. I mean a rocket, a Soyuz rocket. It's a Russian rocket. So like if you were standing back really far and you looked at the space station, you might say, "Hmm, that thing actually has the feet of a bear." Because the Russian Soyuz is the only way for an astronaut to get up here, because NASA, they cut their losses on the shuttle 8 years ago, and they still don't have. Should I say this? Oh, it's okay. Okay. Um, NASA doesn't have the capability to put an astronaut in space, and it's like everybody thinks they're like some big sciencey, brilliant people, but they lost the capability to put people in space. They don't have it. Now they're working on healing that deadly wound. They are, because they are with Dragon's gonna do, it's gonna fix the problem that NASA has. I think NASA's kind of trying to cover it up, because you know they they get a huge part of they get $60 million a day, something like that. And for them to not even have the capability to put an astronaut in space, when Russia has been doing, every astronaut that has gone up to the space station in the last 8 years has only been taken up by Russia. So the United States, NASA, have been buying their tickets for something like $83 million a seat, which is nothing. I mean, you guys are all paying for it, so what do we care? We line our pockets good enough where we can keep doing it every day. We got a lot of swimming pools for practicing our missions in swimming pools. Because that makes sense, Let's see here. Is there any other questions in the hashtag Ask NASA chat there? Oh, yep, we do. Mr. Astronaut, do you see a pocket of gravity? Gravity's actually invisible to the naked eye, and it's actually undetectable pretty much. So, pretty much just a theory. But anyway, I mean, look at this little. I'm floating. I'm free falling. That's what they tell me anyway. When I look from up here, it looks like we're just more like flying around over the earth, like in circles. Like if you got on a jet and just started flying big circles. That's what it looks like to me from up here. So I wish I would have had one of my laptops open, and right now I don't want to open them because of the vacuum breach that we have in here. Actually, it's getting a little. I better turn up the air a little bit. We're leaking a lot of air into space. NASA can't afford own rockets? Yeah, that's true. Well, they're working on, SLS for like the last 20 years. No, the last 10 years. They've been, or even longer than that. They've been working on, Space Launch System or something like that. And the Orion capsule. They got billions of dollars into this program, and it's not left the ground yet. And if it ever does, when it does, it's gonna be outrageously expensive. And what NASA doesn't realize, and the only reason why I can talk about this is because I'm actually an ESA astronaut, the European Space Agency. So if I rip on NASA, I'm not in their node right now. What are they gonna do about it, right? I'm just being honest with the public. Q&A. Okay, another question here. Oh, I didn't answer about the gravity. Watch this. Watch. Cool, huh? You can make stuff move just with air in space. Oh. Oh, there, it's gonna bounce off the wall and come back. So, let's see. Neil Tyson. Oh, my buddy Neil. You know what? I have a picture of Neil that I keep up here. Should I grab it? If I can find it. Or actually, I'll have my assistant grab it. Go down to my sleeping quarters, and on my wall, I have pinned next to my sleeping bed or bag. I have pinned or floating. I mean, a picture of Neil. Could you grab that and bring it out here so I can share while I'm reading their question? I can share, my cool picture I have of Neil. It was when he was a little, well, it's actually right now, and the flat earthers are driving him nuts. He calls me all the time crying about how they're pointing out way too many things that he just can't answer, and so he took up smoking. Thanks. This is just a cardboard cutout I keep of him. It just floats around in my little office bedroom / sleeping quarters thing, and he bumps his head all over everything, and don't worry, it's not a real cigarette. Oh, we got another question. Oh, I forgot about that question about Neil. Okay. He says that stuff is flat. Yeah, it is. Totally. That's why I'm saying that we're just flying in circles above the Earth. Hey, look. The Earth is always underneath the space station. Always. So, it's kind of, one of those things. It's kind of hard to say that we're free falling. More like we're just floating in a place that doesn't have physics, But you can take that Neil picture back now, thanks. So let's see here. We do. Whoops. My head's, sometimes it glitches out a little bit, and that's natural for space stations to do. We're running short on time, but that's okay. Our oxygen supply is still really good. Let's see here. He says you can't see curvature on ISS. So my question is, can you see Neil Tyson from there? He's a little oblate spheroid. I know. Yeah, he's I'll bet you he likes to eat his dinners twice. No, I'm just kidding. Up here we have to stay in shape. We go jogging for 14 hours a day on a treadmill. Otherwise our bones fall apart, start disintegrating into powder. So that's the science that we're doing up here. We're doing science for long duration missions to see how the human body can survive in a place where it's not supposed to survive and is actually hell. Oh, sorry. Okay. Technical difficulties there. Sorry about that. What I meant was, hell. That leak is getting bad. That's what I meant. Sorry, guys. When we have leaks up here, and if that leak gets any worse, I might have to end the interview. But it should be fine. Should be fine. I did start hearing something though, like oh, that's behind you. You gonna get that? Don't worry about the Ask NASA questions. Go take this stuff in teddy bear, or this little globe thingy, and whoops, and stick it in the hole of where the station's breached. It's in the Russian segment. Thank you. Thank you. Should be, just stuff it in there. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay. That shouldn't be that bad now. Plenty of air in here. Don Pettit said that he would immigrate into space, put his family on a rocket, and just immigrate into space. But the only problem is that nobody can live in space because there's no air, there's no water, there's no anything, and it costs $10,000 a pound to get things up to the station. So it's really the stupidest thing that anybody could ever invest money into, is going into a black abyss where there's nothing. Sorry. I've been up here a long time. I get a little antsy, okay? Yeah, I'll settle down. Okay. We got another question, anybody? Hashtag Ask NASA, or Ask ESA, or CSA, or ISRO, or JAXA, or CSNA. Yeah. Or Roscosmos. They're the big dogs up in space. They're the only ones that get us up here. Russia. So if there was a space race, that reminds me of something. I heard something about Donald Trump signing the Space Force into... What's that all about? Are they going to come up here and, run security on the ISS or what? Space Force? It's supposed to be a branch of the military? If anyone's got a report on this, could you guys send it up, email it, email it to me put it up on the next rocket or something. Give me a DVD. Something. Let's see here. I hope the little blue guy doesn't fart. It would probably help. We're running out of air up here. I'd take anything. I just hope that leak doesn't get worse. Let's see here. You'd send Don Pettit to the moon in a nanosecond? That's what Don does for a living. He goes to space, and, you can tell by how much of a weirdo the guy is. Did you know that he dared some other astronaut to be upside down in the orbiting laboratory? Space farce endorsed by Trump. That's what I'm kind of thinking. So, just the blackness of space. Well, there's also demons and devils, fallen angels up here. But I always say too much in these Q&As, and then I get in big trouble afterwards. So, I'll try to censor my stuff I say. Gino Johnson, welcome. Gino says that he says the vast ocean of space. Yeah. Dark matter's just water. It's the waters above. And actually, thanks for plugging that hole. Thanks. It's actually the waters above, and it is mentioned in the Bible. So there's truth in the Bible, and NASA bans people from talking about Jesus on at their Space Coast, Cape Canaveral, or Kennedy Space Center. Because one time I was there, and I actually... Okay, I got a confession to make. I'm gonna be in big trouble if I say that. No. Well, we're not hiding anything from anyone. We're not being deceived either. Because this place of darkness up here, this that surrounds the outer edges of the earth and above the earth, That's all there is. That's the whole universe. That's all there is. There isn't anything above that darkness, like a throne or anything, right? You guys, God's throne is up here above this darkness. Shh. I'm on your side. I'm actually just I didn't know this till I got up here and I realized this isn't real. I mean, it's real, but it's not real. It's, if anything, it's like a dream. A lot like a dream, I think. Yeah, maybe after we get done with a couple more questions, I will. Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe after a couple questions, I will play a video for you guys. Just some comments from some astronauts about how real it is up here. You know, let's hear it from the astronauts, but it might take a second for me to do that. Okay, let's get back to the questions. How do you feel about the flat Earth truth? I feel that there's something going on down on the Earth, and you know, when I look out the window, it's kind of hard to see it, but there's a mountain up here. There's a mountain, and it was carved without hands, and there's somebody that's on that mountain, and I really like that guy that's on the mountain. I think it was called Mount Zion, and they got a sign out front of the mountain that says that we're not supposed to have our muddy boots up here. Like, I don't even know what that means, but that, I guess we're stomping all over the holy city or something. That there's a city on that mountain. I don't know. I've heard of people have went there in dreams. I've heard that. Well, I've read about that mountain all over in the scriptures. So I'm pretty sure that's actually what's up here in reality. And then when we go up on a rocket, we're kind of going into a place of strong delusion. But I mean, I can do an interview with you here, right? But I don't think it's a place anymore. Once we get on the rocket, we go up really, really fast and high. There's a moment where you kind of just poof, you just start to you just start to float. And they say that's free falling, but I gotta tell ya, it ain't free falling. It's like another realm. It's like we joined up with the path of the angels, and we're kind of like, you know, like imagine this, like if there was an angel flying, you know, let's say if you look at the science. If you look at the science of if you observe the sky and the night sky and the stars, what they do, there's like thousands and who knows how many stars in the sky, and every single one of them, except for 7, circle around the North Star, which is really cool. But these 7, I don't know, we call them planets, right? And NASA and ESA and all of my bosses, they think that they actually believe that these stars that we see in our sky, these little lights, that they believe that like they're places to go. And so what they actually do, that's why it costs so much. That's why we're 60 million a day, because we take the money from people and we invest it in huge rockets, in order to escape the Earth. But there's nothing to escape to, because, like I said, this ain't real. Anyway, is there any more questions? I'm running out of time here. We're going to have to patch some leaks here. I'm going to have to call Chris Hadfield and ask him what they did. Well, that was all just a farce anyway. So never mind. Let's see. Oh, the flat Earth. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. And all you got to do to know this is just notice something. The ground is always beneath you, and the sky is always above you. Nobody's ever experienced anything other than that. So I don't know why they would say there's no up and down and all that. That's just a bunch of 1980s dumb astronauts making up garbage along with Carl Sagan and, them dudes and their pale blue dot. They were all on drugs. Let's see here. They were all, what do they call that? Tripping? Something like that. Do you see the submarine fleet from Space Force? No, I was actually just questioning, is that just another trick? I mean, if you look at what Space Force is, they don't plan on doing anything in space. They don't. They're not going to send people to space. So what are they for? I'll tell you what they're for. There's a story written, and I know it's true. And in that story, well, however it comes about, there is a bad thing. I think it's called the Mark of the Beast. But it needs to be enforced, so I'm pretty sure that Space Force is probably something to do with that. Because, I mean, you gotta be in the end of days when you got an astronaut running commanding your space station. I have the key for the thing. It don't even have a steering wheel. You don't need a key for it, but they gave me a key, and it's like I was just reading my Bible, and I think my key's a counterfeit, because Jesus said that he has the keys to hell and to death. And apparently I have the key now, because I'm the commander. But either way, let's see here. We got another question. Was Ringo in there? Oh, in the Yellow Submarine. You want me to sing a little song for you? We all live in a yellow submarine. Like that one? That's what you're talking about. When I was a kid, that song, Strawberry Fields Forever? At first I thought it was Strawberry Fields of Rubber. But I'm not even kidding. That's why I became an astronaut. Yep. The Beatles. Let's see here. Lost souls in a fishbowl. I know, that's why I want to get down. I'm like, send me a ship to get down. Oh, wait. How do I get down? Think about that. How do I get down? How do I have to get down into the earth? I have to burn my way in. I have to burn my way in with fire. Coming in hot. And that's a weird thing too, is that, in Revelation 12, John said he saw, up in space, he said he saw a dragon. There's one attached to the Canada arm right now. But he said that dragon was Satan, and then what was interesting was what Jesus said. He said, I beheld Satan fall like lightning. I see that every time that the dragon gets released and goes back to the earth. It's like shooting through the sky so fast it turns red hot. The whole thing. It's a conical shape too. That's interesting. It's shaped like a horn. Yep. So let's see. Oh, someone Natsa Marlin says it looks so fake. It's got to be real. And if you guys know Elon Musk, he has a line very much like that. It looks so real. I think you said that was his line. Bible's in space. He's clearly been there 666 days. Oh no, that was Peggy Whitson. Or well, it was 666, but then for some reason all the papers and everything said 665, I think. Okay. Oh, you know what else? That was a question, or that was a question from Roderick. You know what, Roderick? Think about this once. Do the math. You flat earthers out there, do the math, okay? Calculate this number for me, would you? 0.666 times, I don't want to get it wrong, times distance in miles squared. That's the curvature of the globe, or what they say the globe is. If you have a sphere that's 24,901 miles in circumference, yes, exactly, Roderick. You can the formula. It's like spherical trigonometry, I think. The formula you can use to find. You could take points and you can mark out points on a sphere, and that formula will work to match the curvature of that sphere if it's 25,901 miles. So it's 0.666 times the distance in miles squared. And you'll get, that'll be your curvature. That'll be how much it would drop from any point if you go a certain distance. So, oh yeah, a Pythagorean calculator, that, you know, that's really all you need is a calculator, because you get a lot of decimal numbers, but it does work. It is, and the funny thing is that it's not even real. Someone asked about the curvature of the Earth up there. What it is? Oh man, I wish I had. I wish I wasn't holding on to this mic really bad. I'll have to do a demonstration the next time. If you take a simple magnifying glass and kind of hold it in front of your face, and just start walking and look through that, like hold it horizontal so it's kind of parallel with the ground or whatever, and just start walking, and you'll be able to see curvature right in front of you that's not there. And the same thing happens when you look through thick atmosphere. It will change the image, just like the dark matter that is space. We look through it and we can see effects from what appears to be water, and so we call it dark matter. But we know that the water's there. Plus the Bible says. But yeah, I better get back to my duties. We do a lot of science up here. Science scams and useless exercises. You know what's strange is that my live dashboard still says to waiting for the stream, which has never done that before. So maybe we have some delay going on, like 42 minutes of delay. But maybe not. Maybe it's just my page is not opening up. The chat's working on that same page, though. That's interesting. Alright, guys. Let me see if... hold on, give me a minute. Let me just see if... it's going to be kind of hard to do this without exposing my background and stuff. You know what I'll have to do is maybe I will Actually, if you guys wanna, I'll go live again tonight when I'm not doing science, and maybe play some videos for you guys over the interwebs on YouTube. I got some cool videos, some funny ones, some good ones. But let's see here. Poof, here you go. Gino Johnson versus Momentum. Gino, I figured you lost that technology. We destroyed it. And it's a painful process to build it back again. Kind of like NASA being able to put people in space. You know, in 1969 to 72, they supposedly, I mean, I'm a young buck. I don't believe that. They never went to the moon. Them old geezers, they say that they walked on the surface of the moon, and here we are 250 miles above the Earth, and we gotta fake it. They didn't go to the moon. I'm really gonna be in trouble for saying that. Alright, guys, I better get out of here. This is gonna be, I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm kind of trying to get in trouble so that they just let me go back to my normal life. I'm sick of this fake astronaut garbage. Don Pettit, yep, he is my hero. Nathan Thompson in the house. Oh yes. Look at the hat, man. You sent me this hat, didn't you? You gave me this hat for free, Nathan. Of course I'm going to wear it up here on the ISS. But we do have a leak. We have a major breach. I have to get going. I'm glad to see all you guys. I think I mentioned everyone's name that was in the chat. I think. I'm just going to scroll up and see. I think I did. If I missed you, it's because you didn't type in #AskNASA. Just kidding. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I'll play some NASA videos and beam them down tonight on my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us for the questions. Thank you for your questions. And send your questions to #AskNASA, why they're faking space. And have a great day, everyone.